Hi, this is medical reporter Arun Bangarappa. Today we are discussing the upcoming solar eclipse that is visible in the certain part of the world, and solar eclipse have long fascinated with the people and have been subjected to many myths and legends throughout history. As a reporter, I am here to provide you accurate and reliable informations regarding this natural phenomena, and we will be going to discuss about this, what is exactly solar eclipse and how it occurs and where it will be visible, and most importantly, how to safely view it. I will be speaking with experts in the field to answer. Today I am with Dr. Bharadwaz, CEO and doctor at Fidicus Homeopathy. I welcome you, sir, on this beautiful occasion.
Yeah, thank you, Arun.
As you know that solar eclipse, how it occurs. Generally, what will happen, the moon passes in between the sun and the earth and it casts shadows on the earth's surface. Generally, there are three types of solar eclipse: total solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, and annular solar eclipse. However, this particular eclipse is what known as to be a hybrid solar eclipse, which is rare and unique event. So, what is exactly hybrid solar eclipse and how does it differ from the other types of eclipse?
Yeah, it's a very basic question. So you know that when the moon comes between Earth and the Sun, we get solar eclipse. See, moon will not be moving in a circular orbit. It's an elliptical orbit. Elliptical orbit in the sense. So sometimes moon will be away from the Earth. Sometimes moon is very close to the Earth. So when the moon is very close to the Earth, Sun is completely blocked. That is complete solar eclipse. When the moon is far away from the Earth and comes in between Earth and the Sun, that is ring type of solar eclipse or annular solar eclipse. And when the moon is not blocking the Sun completely, it is partial solar eclipse. But this, what is hybrid solar eclipse? In hybrid solar eclipse, what happens is Sun and Earth in between moon, but the moon in some parts of the world is full solar eclipse. Complete solar eclipse means he will shadow the sun completely. At some places of the earth he will not shadow the earth complete in a same day. When there is annular solar eclipse and also complete solar eclipse, such type of rare event is called hybrid solar eclipse. So when we take the statistics in a century, it means in 100 years there will be around 224 solar eclipses. In that, only 7 are hybrid solar eclipses. In 100 years, you get this phenomena only for 7 times in 100 years. Yeah, this is hybrid solar eclipse.
Our elders or our ancestors, what their theory is, if you going to eat any food or if you're going to do any activities, means they just avoid for those activities and whatever the things we are doing the time of the solar eclipse. So, is there any scientific basis on for the traditional beliefs that is harmful for eat or doing any activities during the solar eclipse?
Right. There are certain myths in India, like we should not be eating during solar eclipse, or we should not be drinking, we should not be sleeping, we should not be passing urine, or we should not have intercourse during solar eclipse, and also we should not be roaming outside when there is solar eclipse. But this is totally false. There is no scientific evidence or medical evidence that exposing ourselves to solar eclipse will cause any type of health hazards. There is not even single incidence or not even single study done. There is no relation between health and solar eclipse. Yeah, you can do all the things. You can eat around, you can drink, you can sleep, you can have sexual encounters, and also you can roam outside. There is no problem with such type of things during solar eclipse.
If you come to this solar eclipse, especially in the case of the pregnant woman, so what during the time of the solar eclipse, they totally get tensed because whatever the ancestors or the elders, what they have suggested means that is not a right time for the consumer. It's a very effective uh, for the pregnant women while roaming around during the solar eclipse. Is there any specific recommendations or any guidelines for a pregnant woman for from your perspective?
Yeah, I think the question itself is wrong. There are no guidelines because there is no effect on solar eclipse on pregnant women. Pregnant women can go out, pregnant women can drink, pregnant women can sleep, pregnant women can urinate, and uh, they can do whatever they want. There is no effect of solar eclipse on fetus. Normally, most of the people think that if the pregnant woman is exposed to solar eclipse, there may be malformations of the fetus, means they'll be born without legs or hands or any birth defect. That is not true whatsoever. Even I have, when I was in childhood, I have heard that the cleft palate, where there is a gap between the upper lip, in the middle of the upper lip there will be a gap and the palate is not closed, that we call as cleft palate. Cleft palate is due to exposure of pregnant women to solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. That's absolutely false. So there is no medical basis for such kind of things.
Whenever the solar eclipse occurs, generally we have seen in the TV channels or the people who are in the religious, they generally give the guidance and some of the wrong information they are giving. Means with respect to the solar eclipse. So, as a doctor, what is your perspective on this phenomena of the religious figure discriminating with the false informations and solar eclipse TV and social medias?
Yeah, definitely. I have seen a lot of religious gurus or fake babas discussing about solar eclipse and uh, health hazards of solar eclipse. I'm not concerned with other things. We will discuss only about health hazards. Whoever says that there are health hazards about during solar eclipse, they should be ignored. We should not follow them. This is absolutely nonsense which they are speaking. They don't know anything about medical science. They just follow some old scriptures where it describes all the wrong things, but it's not correct. From medical perspective, what they say is wrong. There is no scientific basis for it.
In medical field, generally the medicines are prepared by any chemicals or any agents. But one thing I surprised fact I just heard that the medicines are prepared, especially in the homeopathy, are made in the time of the during the solar eclipse. So, and what conditions and the treatments that are typically used to address?
Right. So there are special class of medicine in homeopathy. We call them as imponderabilia. Basically, imponderabilia means medicines made out of energies or medicines made out of any radiation. We call them as imponderabilia. For example, there is medicine which is made from lunar eclipse. There is medicine made from solar eclipse, and also there is a medicine by name moon, by moonlight. So there are medicines which are exposing the homeopathic medicines to south pole of a magnet or north pole of a magnet or complete magnet. And also recently one more medicine has come out. The medicine is phone radiation. Uh, the radiations that are coming out from the phone are captured and they are converted into nanoparticles in homeopathy and given it as medicine. We will understand how these are made, then we can discuss further. See, there is a lactose powder. Lactose molecules are exposed to either solar eclipse or lunar eclipse or any other radiation, and they are triturated. Triturated means they will be put in a vessel and they are rubbed against it. This we call as trituration. After trituration, we will be taking the medicine into aqua alcoholic solution and we will be succussing it. Succussing it means beating against the hard surface. So froth flotation is done so that nanoparticles are produced. What I'm saying is there is a different kind of energy released during solar eclipse or during lunar eclipse or from the north pole of the magnet or south pole of the magnet or from the uh, cell radiation. But what I'm clearly saying here is these doesn't have any effect on pregnant women or normal human being, but these definitely have effect when we convert them into medicine and use as homeopathic medicine in the form of homeopathic nanoparticles. I'm not saying there are no different kinds of radiation. There is different kind of radiation during solar eclipse or lunar eclipse, but these radiation do not have any impact on the health of a normal human being or a pregnant woman. But definitely, as in the case of homeopathy, we can expose the lactose molecules to this radiation and convert these lactose molecules to homeopathic medicine. And one more interesting phenomena. See, it is well proved that there are moon phases, full moon or new moon. There are certain type of diseases, especially psychological disorders, that are going to be increased or decreased for people based on whether it is new moon or full moon. In the same way, even in homeopathic drugs, there are certain medicines which we give when there is aggravation or amelioration of a particular symptom during full moon or during new moon. For example, take for a particular kind of a person, he is going into depression during full moon. We have separate medicines in homeopathy which can treat it. And if there is a guy for whom the skin symptoms are aggravated during full moon, we have separate medicines in homeopathy to treat such kind of diseases. Homeopathic medicines, even they are based on the moon and sun phases. This is how the homeopathy is. The final thing is, if you are a pregnant woman and you are exposed to any kind of lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, do not panic, because there is no effect. If you have any problems with your pregnancy or with your kid, those are not related to solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. For that, you have to get treated with homeopathy. Homeopathy is safe, homeopathy is effective, homeopathy is affordable. Homeopathy can cure a disease, homeopathy can prevent a disease, and homeopathy can palliate a disease. Thank you.